If you watched last night's show, I hope you fast skipped through at least the first 6 minutes where all we saw was Kody and Robyn kissing, acting like they were teenagers. Because Kody chose to shave off his beard and he didn't want cuz Robyn doesn't want to deal with an unpleasant mustache when she kisses. And then all of a sudden this show after 9 shows or whatever we're at of Robyn faking she doesn't want to kiss her husband, now she suddenly wants to make out with him like they're teenagers. Literally don't care. But what I do care about is that Meri and her friend Amber, who supposedly is now Meri's roommate, have a chat about this fight, a huge fight that happened with Kody and Meri. But she also talks about many conversations she had with Kody and Robyn about the property. And she said the last talk they had about the property was weird. And I was going back in time and I was thinking about, do you remember when they had the breakup talk at the Coyote Pass? Do you remember how Kody and Robyn were sitting at the picnic table with Meri and they were seriously with a straight face telling Meri that she would be getting 2 acres? This is just weird to me. That you two get 8 together, 4 and 4. Janelle gets 4 and I get 2. Meri has 1 child and I have 18 children. I wanted to keep the lot with the pond to be for the whole family cuz the whole family kind of understands that Meri doesn't want to really No, this is from living with her. She doesn't really want to share resources.
And you remember that Meri was like, well, wait a minute. Why are you guys both getting 4 acres and Janelle getting 4 acres and I'm getting 2 acres? Why are you getting 8 of the 14 acres if we do it this way? What? That doesn't even make sense. Why? Why are we doing this way? And Robyn's all, my estate. Yo, Robyn, your estate is Kody's estate.
Cause you're married. Okay. So, apparently, there were more talks like that, and it was clear that Robyn was totally on board and totally okay with Robyn, with Kody screwing Meri. So now, for her to pretend like she wants everything to be fair is ridiculous. But reportedly an A fight goes down because Kody is hitting who? Jen? But the whole problem here is that Meri has 0 trust with Robyn. And Meri doesn't want to see Robyn. And despite Robyn acting like she's gotten no role on the show, behind the scenes, they're having talks and she's being reportedly a nightmare. I just stood my ground and I don't think that she liked it, but whatever. Meri and I have always been able to talk pretty frankly with each other. I was really just trying to find out what she needed, and it really my goal was always in her best interest. I feel like if Robyn and I were to have a friendship again, it would have to start at the very beginning because she is loyal to Kody as she should be. I am not. So as you see, Robyn lies and says that she was always listening and interested in Meri's best interests. But you see, from the clip I showed that Meri was asking Kody and Robyn about the 8 acres, and Kody justified it by saying, Meri only has 1 child. I have 18. I need this land for the family and Meri doesn't want to share resources. By the way, this was after Meri was leaving the family and had no plan to build, and they were trying to divide the property because Meri was moving.
And Kody's like, well, don't you want to build here, Meri? You can have 2 acres. They didn't want Meri to leave because they knew they were going to have to get Meri. Meri was going to fight for more, right? And Robyn during that entire exchange was belligerent. And she ran off and she started crying. And she had all these, she had that snot running down her nose, and
she was not and did not care about her best interest. Robyn was worried about her estate and she felt like she deserved more, and Kody acted like Meri deserved less because she had less kids and because he somehow had all these other kids that were going to come use a dirt pond. All right, so based upon history, we see obviously that Kody and Robyn are liars and they were lies and they were going to screw Meri. They were going to.
And we'd have to have some really hard conversations. There's not trust with me. And Robyn. There's not. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with this. In fact, at the end of the talk, I said, I'm not your wife and I'm not going to, I don't have to listen to this. And I'm done. You can talk to my lawyer from here on out. And I have not.
Talked to him since then. I did have a really rough talk with Kody. In that exchange, he went after Jen, and I won't stand for that. So, between the chat where they're all sitting, Janelle and Meri and Kody on a Zoom talking about the deal, there's apparently a second exchange where Kody calls her and yells and screams at her about the place, and he starts going after her friend Jen. We'll get to why that happens in a second here, but on the show, Kody acts friendly like he's just doing things in the best interest of everyone, that he's being a good guy. And then when cameras are not rolling, he's yelling and screaming at her. And Meri actually spoke about or referred to this exchange when she talked with Tamron Hall when she was on the Tamron Hall show, and she
made a comment about how, Kody had not been being kind, that there was going to be stuff coming up in the season where you'll see what was going on with Robyn, and why there were issues in this relationship, and that Kody was just not being a good person. And she was evaluating her relationship, and that she even said, like, I wasn't going to allow him to
speak to me like that anymore. And so Kody's anger is about money. Kody's anger is about his claim to money. And Kody is used to being able to berate and insult and yell at Meri and his other wives to get what he wants, right? And like I said, Robyn knows who Kody is. Robyn knows what Kody's doing. And still within all of this, Robyn refuses to recognize that it's not the women that are doing anything wrong, it's Kody. Because Robyn somehow thinks that if she kisses his ass, everything's fine, and if you don't kiss his ass, then apparently it's your fault. She's still brainwashed and silly, but whatever. So, this is where it gets interesting, because then Kody goes into why he's mad at Jen, which makes no sense. It's hard for me to not see Jen as a nemesis. I think that Jen encouraged Meri to leave. I think Jen in way, like back in Vegas, because she told Janelle that she thought Meri should empty our bank account and run away.
Evidently, he has somebody who wants to buy it. Let's now do it, but I need you to do this and this and this. It's like, well, I'm not going to do this and this and this. Exactly his way. I'm not going to do it your way.
I don't know why Kody needs to throw Janelle under the bus here, or even throw Miss Jen under the bus here, because Kody didn't want to be with Meri. He didn't want to be married to Meri. In fact, Kody divorced Meri and married Robyn. Kody then abandoned Meri. Kody wanted nothing to do with Meri. Kody didn't sleep at Meri's house for 8 years before they actually before she
finally left him and the family and was like, I'm done. And he's all Jen told her to leave and take the bank account. You mean when they lived in Las Vegas and they were husband and wife and they had joint bank accounts? You mean when Kody and Meri had accounts together and had community property together? You mean when Meri, if she would have been smart, could have gone through a divorce and sought alimony and gotten her fair share of the marital assets. But Meri never did. And Meri finally sacrificed all of that by going through a legal split, not dividing shared assets, and still letting Kody to control the money. You mean the thing that never happened. Kody? And if Jen told her to leave him in Vegas, why did it then take her 10 years to leave Kody? And Kody, you didn't want to be with Meri anyway, so why does this matter? The only reason he doesn't like Jen, and this is my view, I can't say for sure, but Jen sees things for what it is. I don't always love the mean girl dynamic that happens between Janelle or between Meri and Jen. And I don't always find it helpful or, whatever, but it is funny. But she is a mirror to Kody, right? She's a mirror. She can call Kody out for what he's doing. And I'm sorry, but if you had a friend That was being ignored and abandoned, and being emotionally and verbally and mentally abused by a man and financially abused by a man you would. Be a friend if you didn't tell that. Friend that there's choices and they can leave, especially if your friend comes from a cult and has no idea that this is
even an option, right? I think Jen was a good friend. And by the way, the bank accounts were never empty. So it's just like a hyperbolic hypothetical that Kody can use to block and then he can throw Janelle under the bus and say, well, Janelle told me this information about Jen. It's like double hearsay, right? So it's like Janelle tells Kody that Jen
Said this to her about Meri, but Jen had told Janelle that she told this to Meri, right? So it's like I don't even know if that's double or triple hearsay. It's like the game of telephone. What he hates about Jen is that Jen was the friend that was there for Meri, that gave her strength and a backbone and showed her another way and encouraged her and offered her a path out. That's Jen.
That's a good friend, even if I don't. Always love like the banter and the
Joking and the immature stuff, that's still a good friend.
After we took the offer, Janelle was worried about losing the buyer. And so Janelle's like, pushing me to either comply complete with what Meri's wishes were or forced to sell. I got in this place where I was like, backdoor deal almost with Janelle. Hey, we'll just sell it out from under these other two, cuz Robyn was like, we are not going to mess them over. Like, no, we should mess them over. And Kody said, well, I could sell it without Meri's consent. I'm like, well, you could, but he could sell it. Like, I mean, he could have forced a sale on everything. So, yeah, what's extremely confusing to me about all of this is that when they transferred all of the assets, the agreement on the houses, Meri had very little legal say at that time because she held such a small part of the house, right? So she held a box with Kody and her and Janelle where they had to act and add Robyn to it. But outside of that, she had nothing to sign in terms of Janelle and Kody agreeing to add Meri to the deed that they had together. She had nothing to sign when it came to Robyn and Kody deciding to add Meri and Janelle to their box. And it was Robyn that held out and did not sign until March 26th of 2025. Kody and Janelle came to this deal in January, and Meri doesn't need to sign because she had no legal say in regards to the move. That's no formal say to the transfer. And then the sales papers show that it's signed by Janelle in January. Okay, but it's not recorded until March. Kody's signature is the 17th of January. Robyn's is the March 26th. That's for one of the pieces on the single plot that Meri had with Kody and Janelle. She signed on January 15th, or Janelle signs January 9th. Meri signs January 15th. Kody signs January 17th. Meri wasn't holding anything up when it came to the division of the house. She wasn't holding anything up at all. It was Robyn that didn't sign until March 26th. The sale could not go through and the moves of the acts could not be recorded until Robyn signed off because she was on all of the parcels properly and she refused to notarize the marks and notarize the move until the 26th of March. At no time in that period is Kody and Robyn talking to Meri. They're talking through lawyers. And again, the only person that waited and hemmed and hawed and held up the sale was Robyn. She was the one that held out until March 26th. If Robyn cared about it being fair and equal, she would have agreed on the 17th of January and signed with Kody, but she didn't. So my guess is that Kody was having Robyn hold out as power over Meri, right? And will be like, well, Meri, Robyn will sign if you sign an INDA, right? That's my only assumption here. Because they always leave out the truth, right? And Meri says she was not the one that held it up. She wasn't. She was not the one that held it up. It was Robyn. And Kody was using Robyn's signature as power and saying, like, if you, Meri, don't agree to this, we won't sign. It's just sick if you think.
About it. So Meri has to go through the whole end of process, right? Janelle admits that there was this talk about a side deal, right? And it doesn't happen. Because it can't officially happen. There's no way this could have happened, but Kody and Robyn are the bad people here. And so for Robyn to then make comments like this, it's just insane. There's been more work put into.
Causing pain and hurting each other than the work that was put into the relationship. It makes me angry. Maybe if you had taken all that energy and put it into, actually working out the bond, we might not be in this mess, but let's just keep going and trying to hurt each other. Cool. I just don't think anybody's understanding how long the pain will last because of the damage that's being done. Do you remember in Christine's book where she said that Kody will take the fall for Robyn so that he takes all the blame even though she's the one that's starting it, and that if something is her fault, he'll say it's his fault. This is one case. It is her fault that this lasted as long as it did. It is her fault the sale did not go through until April. It is her fault that she did not sign. But Kody is blaming Meri, and he's saying he's the one that's going to do a side bargain out from under Robyn, which is not legally possible. And he's doing this to protect Robyn because she's the one that holds up the sale, and then for Robyn to then state in this episode that she knows that Kody is a jerk, that Kody is mean, that Kody can lash out and act wrong and scream and yell, and that Kody admits to being the devil and wanting to be the devil, and she just laughs about it for then her to go and blame the women for hurting Kody. Hurting who? She says, for all of the work that people are putting into trying to ruin each other and hurt each other. What effort? What effort? What effort are they doing to hurt Kody? Other than leaving an abuser? Other than leaving a violent spouse and his abusive wife? Robyn does this thing on the show where she pretends like she says nothing about the women. She says nothing bad about the women, but then she does that where she says it's their fault, too. Robyn is mad that they are telling the truth about her. She doesn't like to
Hear what she's done. She doesn't like. Responsibility. She doesn't like that. Meri said Robyn is close to Kody. She is. Not loyal to anyone else but Kody. And she should be, but she's how does Meri? Trust someone that's loyal to Kody when Meri knows the kind of man that is. Right? If Robyn's ready to blame the other women for what Kody does and say, it's their fault you can't trust Robyn.
She's going to protect Kody at all costs because her business interests are embedded with his. And who are the women hurting by leaving Kody? Who is being hurt by the sale and the equitable split of this? Who's the one that held all of the power and the financial power here? Kody and Robyn. Who's the one that took money from Meri? Robyn. Who's the one that strung Meri along for years? Robyn. Who's the one that twisted Meri for years? Robyn. She doesn't know the damage that it's causing. They don't need to talk about the damage that it's caused. The family has eroded. There's nothing left. It's just another way for Robyn to play the victim that she's the innocent lady in anxiety that's being bullied by these women. Because the only thing I can think of is that she's mad that they are. Talks about her, but then she does passive aggressive crap behind the scenes. Like she doesn't sign. She says that they're the ones that are hurting people. She makes notes that these relationships go both ways. She's well aware that her husband is Anne and doesn't care. Like, if that were my husband, I wouldn't want to be with a man like that at all. Like, if you can't see the truth about your husband and you can't see what he's doing and you co-sign that, you're just as bad. We'll get into some of the stuff that Janelle had to say about Robyn later, but that's what I have for now. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't joined, and please click the bell so you never miss a movie. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.